You wake up at night, the house is silent, yet your heart feels heavy. Someone's words from the day replay in your mind, not loudly, but like a shadow creeping into your soul. You feel tension you cannot explain. Some people enter your life like a storm hidden in sunlight. They smile, they talk, they charm, but slowly, quietly, they poison your heart. Tonight, you will learn how to spot this poison before it touches your soul, and how Islam gives you the tools to protect your heart, your peace, and your faith. By the end of this message, you will no longer be their victim. Their negativity will stop at your door, and your soul will remain free, calm, and connected to Allah. Spot the poison before it touches your soul. There are people in this world who, without you realizing, slowly weaken your heart, cloud your mind, and distract you from the remembrance of Allah. These people are not always obvious. Sometimes they appear kind, sometimes helpful, sometimes even close to you. But over time, their words, actions, and attitudes begin to sow negativity, doubt, and unrest within your soul. The first and most important step in protecting yourself is to spot the poison before it touches your soul. Toxicity comes in many forms. Some people manipulate through words, constantly belittling you or criticizing you in subtle ways that make you question your worth. Others may be persistent in gossip, spreading stories or rumors that damage your reputation and disturb your peace. Some may constantly complain, dramatize, or exaggerate situations, creating unnecessary stress that eventually drags you into their negativity. And there are those who are simply selfish, only concerned with their own desires, yet expecting you to cater to them. Recognizing these patterns is crucial because Islam teaches us that protecting our hearts is as important as performing our prayers and observing our fasts. Allah has given us guidance in the Quran to be cautious about the company we keep. He says in Surah Al-Furqan, "Do not sit with those who are heedless, lest they lead you astray, and do not follow the path of those who spread corruption." The wisdom here is clear. Our hearts are precious, and they can be influenced by the people around us. Being aware of those who bring negativity or distraction into your life is not a sign of harshness or arrogance. It is a means of safeguarding your iman and your inner peace. Spotting toxicity also requires reflection and honesty. Ask yourself, when I am with this person, do I feel lighter or heavier? Do I feel encouraged to do good or tempted to compromise my values? Do my thoughts and actions align with the remembrance of Allah, or do I find myself distracted, frustrated, or doubtful? These are important questions because if the answers show harm rather than benefit, it is a clear signal that the relationship may be poisonous. Early recognition allows you to take action before the negativity spreads. Just as a person would avoid consuming spoiled food to prevent illness, you must avoid the company that is spiritually harmful. The Prophet ﷺ said, "A man follows the religion of his close friend. So let each of you look at whom he befriends. Surround yourself with people who remind you of Allah, who encourage you to be better, and who elevate your faith." At the same time, do not feel guilty for stepping away from those who pull you down. Protecting your heart is not selfish. It is an act of worship, because a heart free from corruption is better able to obey Allah, remember Him, and do good in this world. In conclusion, spotting the poison before it touches your soul is a skill, a form of self-protection, and a responsibility. It is about being aware, observing carefully, reflecting honestly, and acting wisely. Tonight, take a moment to reflect on your relationships. Look closely at those around you. Seek Allah's guidance to help you recognize what harms you, so that your heart remains pure, your mind clear, and your connection with Allah strong and unwavering. Step back before you are dragged down. Sometimes we find ourselves so entangled with certain people that their negativity begins to affect not only our mood but our entire spiritual state. Toxic people often create situations where you feel compelled to react, defend yourself, or try to fix them, and in the process, your heart begins to carry burdens that were never yours to bear. Islam teaches us that preserving our peace is a form of worship. The Quran reminds us that we should avoid those who distract us from goodness or draw us toward corruption. And do not sit with those who are heedless, lest they lead you astray. Stepping back is not a sign of weakness or indifference. On the contrary, it is a demonstration of wisdom and self-respect. By creating distance, whether physical, emotional, or both, you prevent the harm from spreading and allow your soul the space to breathe and recover. Distance allows clarity. It allows you to think, reflect, and maintain control over your reactions instead of being pulled into unnecessary conflict. Consider the analogy of a fire. If you stay too close to flames, even for a moment, you risk getting burned. The longer you linger, the greater the damage. Similarly, remaining close to toxic people without boundaries gradually harms your faith, your mental health, and your relationships. Islam encourages balance, to be kind and forgiving without sacrificing your own spiritual and emotional well-being. Creating distance does not require confrontation or bitterness. It is possible to step back while maintaining respect and decency. For example, reduce interactions where negativity is likely, limit time spent in draining conversations, or politely excuse yourself from gatherings that cause tension. Sometimes, simply minimizing exposure is enough to protect your heart. Furthermore, when you step back, you are not abandoning anyone's well-being. Allah has entrusted each soul to its own path. Your responsibility is to safeguard yourself, maintain your worship, and act with wisdom. By taking this step, you not only protect your peace, but also set a clear boundary that can in some cases inspire others to reflect on their own behavior. In conclusion, stepping back is a proactive measure, a spiritual strategy. It allows you to preserve your energy, maintain your faith, and remain focused on the remembrance of Allah. When you recognize that certain relationships are harmful, do not hesitate to create distance. Doing so is an act of wisdom and a means of safeguarding the most important gift Allah has given you, your heart. Speak less, protect more. Words are powerful. Every time you speak, you leave a trace, an impression, a statement, a reaction. Some people underestimate how much impact words can have, especially in situations with toxic individuals. Too often, we feel compelled to explain ourselves, defend our choices, or correct misunderstandings. But with toxic people, these attempts rarely lead to resolution. Instead, they give energy to negativity and create further complications. The Prophet ﷺ said, "Whoever believes in Allah and the last day, let him speak good or remain silent." This teaching is crucial. Silence is not weakness. Silence is strategy. Silence preserves your dignity, maintains your peace, and protects your heart from harm. When dealing with toxic people, speaking less allows you to stay in control. Every word you refrain from saying prevents them from twisting your statements, manipulating your intentions, or using your energy against you. Speaking less also helps you maintain emotional stability. Toxic people thrive on reactions. They provoke, criticize, and create tension precisely because they know it affects you. When you refuse to engage in arguments or defend yourself unnecessarily, you deny them the satisfaction of seeing you unsettled. Your calm becomes your strength and your silence a shield. Another important aspect is discernment. Not every conversation requires your input. Ask yourself, will my words bring benefit, or will they simply escalate negativity? If the interaction serves no purpose other than venting or defending yourself, it is wiser to remain silent. Speak only when your words can guide toward goodness, remind of Allah, or set a boundary firmly and respectfully. Silence also creates clarity. It gives you time to reflect, consult your conscience, and seek Allah's guidance before responding. Impulsive words often lead to regret, whereas measured, thoughtful communication allows you to maintain dignity, uphold truth, and preserve relationships where possible. Finally, speaking less is a form of inner discipline. It strengthens your character and aligns with Islamic teachings on patience, restraint, and wisdom. By exercising restraint in speech, you not only protect yourself from harm, but also cultivate a heart that is mindful, composed, and spiritually connected. In conclusion, speak less to protect more. Let your silence safeguard your peace, maintain your dignity, and preserve your faith. In situations with toxic individuals, remember, your words have weight, And sometimes the greatest wisdom is in choosing not to speak at all. Respond without losing your peace. There are moments in life when people push your limits, provoke you, or even attack you verbally and emotionally. These situations can feel overwhelming, and if we are not careful, they may trigger anger, frustration, or impulsive reactions that we later regret. Islam teaches us that controlling our response is far more important than controlling the person in front of us. The Prophet ﷺ said, "The strong is not the one who overcomes others by force, but the one who controls himself when angry." Strength in Islam is not measured by the ability to retaliate or dominate a discussion. True strength is the ability to remain calm, composed, and mindful even when provoked. Your reaction reflects the state of your heart and your connection with Allah. Responding without losing your peace requires awareness and preparation. Recognize that the provocations of toxic people are often designed to elicit emotional responses. They test your patience and attempt to disturb your calm. By staying grounded, you deny them this power. You maintain your dignity, protect your heart, and prevent your energy from being drained. It is important to practice detachment in these situations. Detachment does not mean ignoring justice or avoiding boundaries. It means choosing your battles carefully. When someone attacks you, pause, breathe. Assess whether your response will bring benefit or only fuel the negativity further. Often, silence or a calm, measured response is far more effective than arguing, shouting, or retaliating. Another aspect is reflection. Ask yourself, will my reaction lead to peace or conflict? Will it strengthen my faith or weaken it? Let this guide your behavior. When you respond with patience, you not only preserve your peace, but also set an example of wisdom, self-control, and adherence to Islamic values. Finally, trust in Allah's justice. Not every wrong requires immediate correction, because ultimate justice belongs to Him. When you remain patient, you allow Allah to guide outcomes in ways that you may not foresee. Remember, reacting impulsively may solve nothing, but responding with composure can transform a difficult situation into an opportunity for spiritual growth. In conclusion, every toxic encounter tests your ability to control your anger, your words, and your reactions. Respond without losing your peace. Let patience be your weapon, restraint your shield, and reliance on Allah your anchor. This approach preserves your soul, strengthens your iman, and allows you to navigate toxicity with dignity and wisdom. Let Allah be your guard. Sometimes, no matter how careful we are, we encounter individuals whose negativity seems unavoidable. We may feel vulnerable, exposed, or powerless to protect our hearts and minds. In these moments, the greatest shield is not confrontation, argument, or manipulation. It is turning to Allah for protection. Allah is the guardian of hearts, the protector from harm, and the one who guides those who seek refuge in Him. When we face toxicity, our dua, reliance, and mindfulness of Allah become our strongest defense. The Prophet ﷺ often sought Allah's protection from harm and the evil intentions of others, showing us that our first line of defense is spiritual. There are beautiful supplications to ask for Allah's protection. One such prayer is, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min sharri kulli sharrin wa min sharri kulli nafsin wa min sharri kulli dabi. This means, O Allah, I seek refuge in you from every evil, from the evil within myself and from the evil of every creature. Reciting this with sincerity safeguards not just your external environment, but also the inner space of your heart. Seeking Allah's protection also reminds us of a profound truth. No one can truly harm us without His permission. Toxic people may provoke, insult, or attempt to manipulate, but their power is limited. Your peace, faith, and dignity remain intact when you rely on Allah, because He controls every circumstance, every intention, and every outcome. It is important to pair this reliance with wisdom. Turn to Allah in prayer and reflection, but also act responsibly in your interactions. Limit exposure to toxicity, maintain boundaries, and remain composed. Spiritual protection and practical action work hand in hand to shield your heart. Moreover, making Allah your guard brings serenity. When you know that He is watching over you, that He is aware of every injustice and every trial. Your heart relaxes, anxiety diminishes, fear subsides, and clarity returns. Toxicity loses its grip because your reliance is no longer on people or circumstances, but on the one who is all-powerful, all-knowing, and most merciful. In conclusion, letting Allah be your guard transforms the way you face toxicity. Your protection becomes divine, your peace unshakable, and your actions guided by wisdom and faith. Remember, no negative word, harmful action, or ill intention can truly touch your heart when Allah shields you. Place your trust fully in Him. Seek His protection daily, and let your heart remain steadfast amidst every trial. Cut the roots, not just the branches. It is common to try to manage toxicity superficially, attempting to fix small issues, excuse minor behaviors, or tolerate repeated offenses. But in reality, this is like trimming branches of a tree while leaving the roots intact. The problem will continue to grow and the cycle will repeat. Islam teaches us wisdom and foresight, urging us to deal with challenges at their source rather than simply addressing their surface symptoms. When you encounter toxicity, consider this: are you addressing the root cause or merely enduring repeated harm? Toxic behavior often comes from patterns that will not change unless the person chooses to reflect and reform. Attempting to control or influence someone else's character can exhaust your energy and weigh heavily on your heart. The Prophet ﷺ demonstrated wisdom in dealing with difficult people. He guided, he advised, but he never compromised his own peace or faith to try to change others who were obstinate. Cutting the roots may mean setting firm boundaries, limiting contact, or in some cases, completely distancing yourself from the individual. It is not a sign of harshness. It is a demonstration of self-respect and faith. Your heart is a trust from Allah, and preserving it is a responsibility. Allowing negativity to linger only permits harm to penetrate deeper. Think of this in practical terms. If a coworker constantly undermines you, addressing only individual incidents may provide temporary relief, but the pattern will repeat. Addressing the root by limiting unnecessary interaction, clarifying roles, or seeking guidance from Allah on how to protect yourself ensures lasting peace. Similarly, if a family member or friend consistently spreads gossip or drama, you must take steps to protect your time, energy, and spiritual state rather than merely reacting to each occurrence. Islam encourages action that aligns with wisdom and preservation of the soul. Surah Al-Furqan reminds us to avoid companions who lead us astray, indicating that prevention is better than cure. When we cut the roots, we are acting responsibly, protecting our hearts and demonstrating faith in Allah's guidance. In conclusion, cutting the roots, not just the branches, is about addressing toxicity decisively and wisely. Do not merely respond to small incidents or hope for change. Protect your heart and your iman by taking steps that prevent repeated harm. Recognize patterns, act with clarity, and trust that preserving your spiritual and emotional well-being is an act of devotion to Allah. Choose companions who elevate your faith. It is often said that a person is the average of the 5 closest people they spend time with. Islam emphasizes the profound impact of companions on our thoughts, behaviors, and faith. The Prophet ﷺ said, "A person follows the religion of his close friend, so let each of you look at whom he befriends." The company you keep can either uplift your heart, strengthen your iman, and remind you of Allah, or it can slowly lead you away from peace, positivity, and purpose. Surrounding yourself with the right people is not about being selective out of arrogance. It is about safeguarding your spiritual and emotional health. Good companions are those who inspire you to do good, encourage remembrance of Allah, remind you of your values, and offer honest advice without malice. Their presence becomes a source of light, clarity, and encouragement, even in difficult times. Conversely, those who consistently bring negativity, doubt, or drama into your life have the opposite effect. They may not even intend harm, but their habits, attitudes, and focus on trivial matters can subtly influence your thoughts and decisions. Over time, these influences accumulate and begin to affect your faith, your behavior, and your outlook on life. Choosing companions wisely also includes setting boundaries. You can maintain relationships without allowing toxic behaviors to dominate your interactions. For example, spending less time with those who gossip, avoiding conversations that drain your energy, or gently limiting exposure to repetitive negativity can create a healthy balance. This is not rejection of people but a prioritization of your peace, iman, and focus on Allah. Furthermore, positive companions provide spiritual reinforcement. They remind you to pray, to be patient, to act with kindness, and to seek Allah's guidance in every decision. In moments of weakness or trial, they uplift you and guide you back toward reflection and good deeds. Toxic companions, on the other hand, distract, discourage, or normalize behaviors that weaken your connection with Allah. In conclusion, the choice of companions is one of the most influential decisions you can make in your spiritual life. Surround yourself with those who elevate your faith, inspire you toward good, and encourage reliance on Allah. Evaluate the people around you honestly and make adjustments where necessary. Remember, your heart, your peace, and your iman are precious gifts. Protect them by choosing wisely, and your life will be enriched with clarity, spiritual strength, and a sense of divine purpose. Turn trials into triumphs. Life is full of challenges, and sometimes the most difficult people we encounter are those who test our patience, resilience, and faith. Toxic individuals may leave you hurt, frustrated, and exhausted. Their words may sting, their actions may frustrate you, and their constant negativity may seem impossible to escape. But Islam teaches us that every trial, no matter how small or large, carries within it a hidden opportunity for growth, reflection, and spiritual elevation. The Prophet ﷺ faced hostility, betrayal, and criticism throughout his life. People mocked him, plotted against him, and sought to challenge his mission at every step. Yet he responded with patience, wisdom, and unwavering reliance on Allah. Every hardship he endured was transformed into a lesson, a means to strengthen his character, and a demonstration of faith that guided generations. We too are tested, and the way we respond determines whether trials become a source of weakness or a path to triumph. When you encounter toxic people, pause and reflect. Ask yourself, what is Allah teaching me through this situation? Every difficult interaction can be an opportunity to practice patience, to control your anger, to refine your character, and to protect your heart. The key is perspective. When you view trials as challenges meant to strengthen your soul rather than attacks meant to break you, your mindset shifts. You begin to see trials as part of Allah's wisdom and mercy, not merely as suffering. Toxic encounters also test your reliance on Allah. When others try to provoke, manipulate, or harm you, you are given the choice to react impulsively and let negativity enter your heart, or to respond with faith, dignity, and composure. By choosing the latter, you transform a harmful situation into a means of spiritual growth. Your heart becomes stronger, your patience deeper, and your connection with Allah more profound. Furthermore, turning trials into triumphs requires reflection and learning. Each negative person you encounter reveals something about your own boundaries, patience, and faith. They teach you to discern wisely, to strengthen your resilience, and to prioritize your spiritual well-being. You learn to value your peace, to choose companions carefully, and to protect your heart from harm. These lessons are far more valuable than any temporary frustration or conflict. In practical terms, turning trials into triumphs means setting boundaries without resentment, speaking wisely, seeking Allah's protection, and maintaining focus on your spiritual goals. It means transforming the energy of anger, frustration, or hurt into prayer, reflection, and positive action. When you do this consistently, even the most toxic encounters cannot derail your faith. They become stepping stones toward a stronger, wiser, and more resilient self. In conclusion, every toxic interaction and challenging person carries a hidden blessing. When you respond with patience, wisdom, and faith, you convert trials into triumphs. Your heart remains intact, your spirit strengthened, and your connection with Allah deepened. Remember, no matter how difficult the people or situations around you may be, your triumph lies not in changing them, but in transforming yourself through restraint, reflection, and reliance on Allah. Tonight, take this lesson to heart. Let every challenge refine you. Let every difficulty elevate your soul, and let your peace be unshakable, guided by Allah's wisdom and mercy. Remember, your heart is a trust from Allah. Guard it, protect it, and do not let anyone's words, actions, or intentions poison it. The people who drain you are not stronger than your faith. Take these lessons, act upon them, and let Allah be your shield. Your peace, your dignity, and your connection to Him are priceless. Never give them away to those who do not deserve them. Go forward tonight with clarity, with calm, and with the certainty that no negativity can touch a soul that belongs to Allah.